So in all the scriptures it says it's the first day of the week. So that's Sunday, right? Okay, so day is italicized. I highlighted it, but day. It's italicized because it's been added. First is mia. Mia means a certain. So that says a certain week or a certain Sabbaton, Sabbath. So upon a certain Sabbath, when the disciples came together to break bread, that means they were keeping Passover. Passover is Nisan 14, and that's when Jesus is crucified. 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth is 72 hours from Passover. Okay, that Nisan 15 is the sunset, when Jesus' body had to be in the earth. His spirit left his body in the 9th hour, and there are 12 hours in a day. That's in John 11. Okay, so in the 9th hour is when his spirit left his body, and that's about 3 p.m. So 72 hours from 3 p.m. on Nisan 14 is Nisan 17, the third day of unleavened bread, and that's when Jesus was resurrected on Mia Sabbaton, a certain Sabbath, because that was the 7th day Sabbath. Okay, so let's go to Matthew. In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn towards the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene. Okay, so first day, italicized, it doesn't belong there. It should say first week, but it doesn't. It says Mia, which is a certain. Week is Sabbaton, Sabbath, a certain Sabbath. So this one actually says late in the Sabbath, as it drew on among a certain Sabbath. So came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. Okay, so let's go to Mark. And when the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene, that's when they bought the spices. The Sabbath of unleavened bread, day 1, was passed. Then they bought the spices, so that was Nisan 16 when they bought the spices. And very early on the morning, this is Nisan 17, the first day of the week, they came to the sepulchre. Okay, day, italicized. I highlighted it. It's been added. First is Mia, a certain. A certain what? Sabbath. Very early in the morning on a certain Sabbath, they came into the sepulchre at the rising of the sun. Rising of the sun is in the Psalms, and it means something else. I'm trying to keep this short. So here we go again, verse 9, when Jesus was risen early on the first day of the week. Okay, day's been added. First is prõi, as in the order of things. Okay, because in Mark it gives the orders of events of what happened. And so week is Sabbaton, Sabbath. Okay, so in the order of the Sabbath, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene. Okay, and then Peter was the first disciple to that Jesus appeared to, because he was with Clopas on the road to Emmaus. That was Peter that was with him. And so here, Luke 24. Now upon the first day of the week. First is Mia. Week is Sabbath. So a certain Sabbath, very early in the morning, they came into the sepulchre. They entered in. Okay, so this is when they did not remember that Jesus said he was going to be crucified, which is Passover. And then on the third day is the third day of unleavened bread. 72 hours later is when he's going to be resurrected. They weren't expecting it. Okay, so, and this is Peter. So Peter and Clopas on the road to Emmaus, and they return. So when they got back, saying, the Erchomai is indeed risen and has appeared to Simon, because Simon was with Clopas. And this all happened on the Sabbath. So let's go to John. First day of the week is what it says in English. Mia. Day is italicized. It's been added. Week, Sabbaton, Sabbath. Okay, so Mia Sabbaton, a certain Sabbath, came Mary Magdalene, early when it was yet dark, That word dark there is scotia, and it's spiritual darkness. Okay, everywhere it's used is used as spiritual darkness. Because they forgot that he was going to be raised on the third day. Okay, so let's see where else. Here we are. Then the same day at evening, being the first day of the week, when the doors were shut, the disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews. Okay, it's not. It's still mia Sabbaton. Mia, a certain Sabbath. It wasn't the first day of the week. It was the Sabbath when this happened.